Coach, I'm coming to you live from beautiful San Marcos, Texas, with your Claws Out podcast for year one, week 11. Here we go. As always, your Claws Out podcast is brought to you proudly by Whataburger San Marcos, What a Burger, and W Energy Drinks. 11 plus unique flavors. Get 10% off your order today with promo code B.I.A. Elite. Starting in the ACC, Wake Forest at Virginia. Wake Forest 42, Virginia 25. Jumping on down, Duke at UConn. UConn 31, Connecticut 10. Duke at 8-1, 5-0 in the conference. Number 18, Stanford. Them Cardinals are ranked, and they're visiting at North Carolina. And in a stunning game, the Cardinals pull it out 20-18. It was 10-9, Stanford at the half. But North Carolina came out, made it 12-10 after 3, and it took everything Stanford could do in the fourth to win this game. 20-18, let's take a look at the stats. 19 first downs for Stanford. 343 yards of total yards, 343 yards of total offense. They ran 63 plays, 5.4 yards of play. They carried the ball 24 times for 25 rushing yards, averaging only 1 yard a carry. And there was 1 yard a carry. They pulled them through today. Let me tell you, but they added 318 through the air, 2 passing touchdowns, 8 of 14 on third down conversions for 57%. But you want to know where them Cardinals won the game? Third down conversions on defense, they only allowed the Tar Heels 1 of 7 for 14%. Great job by Stanford pulling out the win there. Great job by them being ranked. Now we jump over to the American Conference. Tulane at number 20, Memphis. Memphis 31. The Green Wave 24. Great game there. It was 10-7. Memphis at the half. Both teams came out putting up big points in the second. As the second half was 21-17. Memphis outscores them in both. Memphis wins by 7. Here we go, taking a look at the stats. The Green Wave, 16 first downs. Memphis, 21. Tulane, 350 yards of total offense. Ran 43 plays, 8.1 yards of play. Memphis, 417 yards of total offense. They ran 44 plays, 9.5 yards of play. Memphis wins the rushing attack. 26 carries, 126 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, averaging 4.8 yards a carry. Tulane just 8 carries for 50 yards, averaged 6.3 yards a carry. Looks like they should have ran the ball a little bit more, folks. 300 yards passing and 3 passing touchdowns for Tulane. 291 yards passing and 3 passing touchdowns for Memphis, who win 18 of 18 on the day. 100% completion percentage for the Memphis Tigers. 7 of 11 for Tulane on third down conversions for 63%. The Tigers went 3 of 5 on third down conversions for 60%. Not a lot of third downs for Memphis in that one. Great game there. Your final, like I said, Memphis 31, Tulane 24. Now we jump over to the Big Ten, Northwestern at USC. At the time, USC was ranked number 7. Northwestern 24, USC 17. Taking a look at the stats in that one. Your Wildcats, 24 first downs, 436 yards of total offense, ran 67 plays, 6.5 yards of play. They carried the ball 28 times for 150 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, averaging 5.4 yards a carry on the day. They added 286 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, but they were only 3 of 10 on third down conversions for 30%. But they managed to hold USC to 4 of 12 on third down conversions for 33%. Defense standing tall in that one for the Wildcats, only giving up 232 yards of total offense. Now Rutgers, ranked number 4, hosting Maryland. Rutgers Scarlet Knights 41, the Maryland Terrapins 38 in the rivalry game. Close game there, closer than the Scarlet Knights would have liked. But they had 31 first downs, 556 yards of total offense, ran 70 plays, 7.9 yards of play. They rushed the ball 27 times for 149 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns while averaging 5.5 yards a carry on the day. They added 407 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. The Scarlet Knights, 4 of 9 on third down conversions for 44%. Their defense holding the Terrapins, 2 of 7 on third down conversions for 28%. Conference USA, Kennesaw State at New Mexico State. The Kennesaw State Owls 18, New Mexico State 15. Taking a look at the stats, 21 first downs for the Owls, 342 yards of total offense, ran 57 plays, 6 yards a play. They carried the ball 25 times for 140 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown, while averaging 5.6 yards a carry on the day. They added 202 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, went 5 of 11 on third down conversions for 45%. Now over into the MAC. No games in the MAC. Mountain West Conference. 1 game there. San Diego State hosting Hawaii. Close game for the Aztecs, but they pull it out at home against the Rainbow Warriors. 38-35. 25 first downs for the Aztecs, 468 yards total offense. They ran 67 plays, 7 yards a play. They rushed the ball 40 times for 253 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns, while averaging 6.3 yards a carry on the day. They had a 215 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and they went 5 of 11 on third down conversions for 45%. Their defense holding Hawaii to just 5 of 13 on third down conversions for 38%. Into the SEC, Mississippi State hosting Georgia. Georgia 38, Mississippi State 7. Tough game for the Bulldogs. 14 first downs for the Bulldogs, 277 yards total offense, ran 61 plays, 4.5 yards a play. They rushed the ball 24 times for 68 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown, while averaging just 2.8 yards a carry on the day. They had 209 yards passing, no passing touchdowns, but were 5 of 13 on third down conversions for 38%. Georgia, 8 of 16 on third down conversions for 50%. The highlight of this day, they only allowed 185 passing yards by the Bulldogs, only 327 yards of total offense for Georgia. Great job on defense there by Mississippi State, even though it was a tough loss, 38-7. Now we roll over to the Sun Belt. Texas State at Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns, 49 for the Bobcats, 23 for Louisiana. The Bobcats had 29 first downs, 604 yards of total offense, ran 67 plays, 9 yards a play. They rushed the ball 11 times for 87 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, while averaging 7.9 yards a carry on the day. They added 517 passing yards, 5 passing touchdowns. They went 7 of 11 on third down conversions for 63%. They held the Louisiana Raging Cajuns to just 5 of 14 on third down conversions for 35%, but they gave up 446 yards of total offense. The highlight, though, holding Louisiana to just 23 carries for 64 rushing yards, no rushing touchdowns, 2.8 yards a carry on the day, if you can call it a highlight. That's all we got. We're going to jump over to players of the week, offense and defense. Your offensive player of the week, C.J. Campbell Jr. of Rutgers, 16 carries, 108 rushing yards, 6.8 yards a carry, 3 rushing touchdowns. He also had 6 receptions, 109 receiving yards. Great job by C.J. Campbell Jr. Here we go, ACC. We're going to cycle through here because I realized that was a fair sim game, so we're not going to use that for Defensive Player of the Week. Your Defensive Player of the Week for the second time, Traylon Payne of the Texas State Bobcats, 12 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 1 pass breakup, and a forced fumble, and he earned your Defensive Player of the Week. Let's jump on down real quick and do the Heisman update. Currently, your Heisman leader, Caleb Hawkins of North Texas, the user running back, having an excellent season. Memphis, the quarterback, Brady Cluse, the wide receiver, he's also on there at number 5, even though he looks to be dropping out of the polls. Your award watch list, Maxwell Award, Caleb Hawkins, Brady Cluse, Rutgers, Ethan Kaliakmanis, All on that list for the Maxwell: Walter Camp, Caleb Hawkins, Brady Cluse of Memphis, Drew Mestemaker of North Texas, and Ethan Kaliakmanis of Rutgers, also on the list. Bear Bryant, Coach of the Year Award. You've got Memphis at the top. You've got North Texas, Texas State, Rutgers, and Stanford all in the mix there. Your Davy O'Brien Award, you've got Rutgers, Ethan Kaliakmanis, and North Texas Drew Mestemaker, and Memphis's Brandon Lewis making that list. Chuck Bednarik Award. Here we go, getting some love. Traylon Payne of Texas State, the middle linebacker. Bronco Nagurski presented to the best defensive player of the year. Traylon Payne also making that list from Texas State. Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, user cornerback Ladarius Webb Jr. of Wake Forest. Bryce Phillips, cornerback for San Diego State, and strong safety Dale Sean Staley of San Diego State. And right down near the bottom, Rushan Tung of Wake Forest. Doak Walker Award, Caleb Hawkins, North Texas, Nate Shepard of Duke, and Cam Porter of Northwestern. And on down the list, Damon Claiborne of Wake Forest. And Lucky Sutton, what a name for a running back of San Diego State. Lucky Sutton for the Doak Walker. Fred Biletnikoff Award, Brady Cluse, the wide receiver of Memphis, KJ Duff, the wide receiver of Rutgers, both making the list for the Biletnikoff. Here we go, the Lombardi, Best Defensive Lineman of the Year, no users there. Johnny Unitas, Golden Arm Award, which goes to the best senior quarterback, Ethan Kaliakmanis of Rutgers, and Brendan Lewis of Memphis making that list. No love, again, for Brad Jackson, even though he's not a senior, but no love for Brad Jackson, any of the quarterback awards. Edge Rusher of the Year, that's Trey White of San Diego State is making that list. Outland Trophy Interior Offensive Lineman, no users on that list. Here we go, the John Mackey Award presented to Tight End of the Year, North Texas tight end Trey Williams III, and Duke's Jeremiah Hasley, both making the list. Broyles Award for Assistant Coach of the Year, Texas State, Memphis, Rutgers, North Texas, Stanford, all have assistant coaches on the list for the Broyles Award. Dick Butkus Award presented to Linebacker of the Year, Traylon Payne is on that list. From Texas State, Remington Trophy Center of the Year, no users on that one. The Lou Groza Kicker Award, Gabriel Placencia of San Diego State is on the Lou Groza Award. Ray Guy Award for Best Punter, no users there. Jet Award for Best Special Teams Returner, Nathan Acevedo of San Diego State. And Jimmy Calloway of Tulane. Add in there Carson Grove of Northwestern and Sudarian Harrison of Virginia. Come on down the list, and Tykeem Wallace of Kennesaw State are all on the Jet Award. Sean Alexander Award presented to the Freshman Player of the Year, Caleb Hawkins, the running back from North Texas, Drew Mestemaker, the quarterback of North Texas, Nate Shepard, the running back of Duke, Brad Jackson, the quarterback of Texas State, and Greg Burrell, the running back of Texas State, all making the list. Great job, guys. That's a little, we don't normally do that, but we did it today. And that's where we're at. I'm going to do real quick conference standings to knock this out real quick. We're going to try to do this real quick. ACC, Duke leading at 5-0. Stanford, Wake Forest, and Virginia all right in the mix in the top four at 6-1, 5-1, and 5-2 respectively. In the American Conference, Memphis leading the way at 7-0. North Texas right there at 6-0. They're on for an undefeated clash of the Titans in the American Conference Championship. Tulane hanging around at 3-2, but the tough loss to Memphis puts them out of the race. Into the Big Ten, Rutgers hanging up there at 7-0. Northwestern at 4-2. Still not completely out of it. They can still turn it around. But as of right now, it's looking like Rutgers versus Michigan in the Big Ten Championship. Conference USA, Kennesaw State, rough at 7-3 on the season, but they're 5-1 in conference, and they are holding for a chance at a Conference USA championship game. Your MAC, Buffalo, 6-0 in conference, 8-2 overall. They are looking to make that MAC conference championship game. Nobody's going to looks like there's no other users in the conference, so there's nobody to compete from there. Here we go. San Diego State in the Mountain West Conference. No other users in his conference. He's at 5-1. If he wins out, he should pass San Jose State or Boise State to play one of the two in the Mountain West Coast Conference Championship. In the SEC, no users are vying for the SEC championship. Coming over to the Sun Belt, Texas State 5-0, 9-0 on the season. The closest to them is Southern Mississippi at 7-2, and that's their game this week. Southern Mississippi is 4-1. The Sun Belt, though, is broke down. James Madison 6-3, 4-2 leads the east of the Sun Belt, and Texas State. The big game today against Southern Mississippi will tell you who's probably going to be playing for a Sun Belt championship. That's your Claws Out podcast for year 1, week 11. And until next time, this is Coach Dub signing off.